Greetings. This is Justin Allen, the Elite Nurse Practitioner. Welcome to the Elite Nurse Practitioner Show, podcast dedicated to nurse practitioner entrepreneurism and achieving financial freedom, where I talk directly with nurse practitioners who need help. Listen up, our market is saturated. Jobs can be scarce. We are underpaid. We are undervalued. We are taken advantage of by the sharks within the healthcare system, and frankly, screw that. Sick of it, and it's time for a change. And listen, I'm here to help make that happen. We are powerful. We can forge a path where we are in control of our career and ultimately our financial and personal well-being. You do not need to submit to healthcare administrators and your doctor overlords. You do not have to take a measly salary. You do not have to work 50 to 60 hours a week. There is a different way, and I'm here to show you that path. This podcast is raw and unfiltered. I have not talked to the nurse practitioners in this podcast prior to the call outside of an email exchange to schedule the episode. What you're about to listen to is a consultation session between a nurse practitioner and myself. It is real, it is unscripted, it is unplanned, and I have no idea what we're going to talk about. Anything and everything can happen during our conversation. The nurse practitioners in these episodes are struggling with an issue in their professional or financial life, and they have reached out to me for help. My goal is to help the nurse practitioner with actionable advice that will enhance and improve their professional, business, and financial life. My other goal is to hopefully help my nurse practitioner sisters and brothers build a more productive, powerful, and free life. So I hope the content and information within these podcast episodes does just that. All right, onto the episode. Hello, everyone. Today we'll be talking to Crystal, who is an adult and women's health nurse practitioner. I spoke with Crystal in episode 4, where I talked with her about growing her weight loss practice. If you have not listened to that episode, please do so before listening to this one. Over the past 8 months since we last spoke, her business has exploded in growth. She integrated hormone replacement therapy into her practice and has had great success with it in addition to the weight loss. She is now having growing pains as her business grows. She is needing assistance hiring employees so she can begin delegating work to others. She's also needing help restructuring her current payment model so it generates more revenue for her practice. Hey, Crystal, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. So yeah, it's good to speak to you again. I've heard that you've had some pretty wild success and now you're having some growing pains.
Yeah. So, after we chatted in December, I really reached rock bottom in January. I thought my business was going to kind of collapse, but I ended up getting evicted from the space that I was subleasing and ended up having to find a new space. Ended up being a huge blessing, put me in a much better area. And then in February, March, my business just absolutely exploded. I've been generating anywhere between $10,000 to $15,000 in revenue, working 2 to 3 days a week. So I can't keep up with it at this point. It's getting crazy.
Very nice. So what would you say basically brought your practice from being evicted from a building to $15,000 a month? What do you think actually helped you achieve that?
Marketing. 100%. I literally, and I'm not even like at a big budget for marketing. I'm really right now probably between $500 and $800 a month in marketing on Google ads. And it's just pay per click. And I find whichever keywords are the most successful and I go with those. I have about 4 different ads that are running for weight loss and 2 different ads that are running for TRT, and they are very successful. So that's really drove a lot of business my way.
Wow, good for you. So $500 to $800 a month, pretty good return on investment, it sounds like.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm seeing on average about 5 to 6 new patients a week. Again, that's 2 to 3 days a week that I'm working with the business. And then I actually paused my ads in June and half of July because I could not keep up with it.
Wow. Okay. So good problems to have, it sounds like. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're doing these search ads. I'm sure people listening are going to want to kind of know what it is that you're doing. So it's basically just Google search ads, right? Like they search for a keyword and you pop up.
Exactly. So if they search, weight loss in my area or weight loss in whatever, or weight loss doctor near me, those will generate my ad. And just based off of my budget, it's not going to be 100% of the time, but they'll see my ads. And then if they're interested in it, they'll click on it. I have a pretty good return on that, pretty good close rate on that to get into the website and all that. Just it takes them straight to the weight loss portion of my website as a landing page.
Nice.
So they'll give me a call or they can schedule online. Either way they want to do it.
Yeah. So this just goes to show how powerful Google search ads can be because number one, the patient's warm, the customer's warm. they're interested in the service, therefore they're a warm customer, right? Like
Yeah,
it's not,
they are a self-referral. They
they
are
are
already looking for this thing. And when they
exactly.
see my ad pop up, and a lot of times they'll click it and I'm the first person they see. I'm the first person that answered the phone. Therefore, they make an appointment with me.
Exactly. It's a hot lead, basically. Yeah.
It also
Yeah.
helps that most of the other weight loss clinics in my area, I mean, honestly, Justin, there's probably 6 or 7 other weight loss clinics in my area, and the most popular clinic is no longer accepting new patients for the next 6 to 8 months. And so I'm getting a lot of referrals from that.
Okay. So the stars have aligned. You've had a,
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of good success here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. So congratulations on finding some success with some ads. The thing when you begin marketing a practice, you do a few things and find what works, and whatever works, you just dump your energy into it. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So I'd say keep pumping those out. You pause them for the time being just because you're pulling your hair out. But as soon
Right.
as
I mean,
you
I've restarted them now that I have hired a just a 1099 virtual receptionist to just answer the phones for me, and that has taken a huge load off for me to be able to work on my business rather than in it. So I've restarted those because she's now able to answer the phones for me and get people scheduled.
perfect. So are you seeing the power of having an employee help?
Oh my God, yes. She's only literally not even been with me a week. And it has just been a massive weight off of my shoulders because I was constantly like when I wasn't there or on the 2 days a week that I'm not working in my business, I would forward my phones to my cell phone. And it was just a major stressor. I never could sleep or rest, or, I'm always afraid like when I'm out and about, the phone's going to ring and I'm going to end up losing business because I can't get them scheduled right then and there. But now with her, like it's amazing. She's able to be there and answer the phones and get people scheduled and answer basic questions that, otherwise they may take 10 or 15 minutes trying to talk to me about something that they could talk to me about in their consultation.
Right. Well, I want to tip my hat to you. You managed to grow basically a six-figure business by yourself at first. So anyone listening who thinks that you can't start a little side hustle all by yourself, you're a poster child for stating otherwise here.
If I can do it, I swear to God, anybody can do it because I came into at this as green as you could possibly be, had no freaking clue what I was getting myself into. It literally was, I mean, I don't want to say it was on a whim, but my brother-in-law was just like, why don't you start your own business? Because ultimately what happened was I was quitting my job over $10,000. Like I wanted to get a $10,000 a year pay raise. And he was like, why are you asking for pennies when you can go and make your own money? And so I was like,
Exactly.
okay, I'll go do this. And then, oh my God, what a ride.
So with that said, are you working right now at all, or are you just doing your business?
I am still working part-time with a company that does health risk assessments.
Okay.
I'm on the fence as to whether or not I'm going to quit that. Because right now I'm doing that 1 to 2 days a week. If I can get another nurse practitioner hired on board, I can keep doing this other part-time thing 2 days a week just as a more steady source of income. I mean, I'm able to pay myself roughly $4,000 a month out of my business, which I think is fairly reasonable with the 2 to 3 days a week that I'm working.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. I mean, how many hours are you working?
I'm there from 8 to 4,
Okay.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then, I mean, I'm busy every minute that I'm there.
Right. So you're generating 10 to 15,000 a month in revenue. After it's all said and done, you're paying yourself about 4,000.
Right, right. And then I like to keep a running balance of about $4,000 to $5,000 in the bank, just in case or uh-ohs or something along those lines. So basically, middle of the month, anything over 5 grand, I take as an owner's draw. End of the month, anything over 5 grand, I take as an owner's draw.
Good for you. Nice. Okay, so you want to hire an employee and a nurse practitioner. Now, this virtual assistant, receptionist, do you want to just keep them?
I want to keep her because the space that I'm in is that I'm still leasing a single office space. So I don't have room to grow into that space to put another person. I have also subleased an office space in Alabama, in Foley, close to Gulf Shores and Orange Beach. I'm getting ready to expand my business over in that area because there's one thing about people that live down here on the Gulf Coast is they don't want to drive more than about 20 minutes to get anywhere. So there's a lot of business to be had in the Gulf Shores, Orange Beach area. A lot of money there, a lot of people that are kind of into health and wellness, and there's really nobody in the area. I've done my market research. There's nobody in the area that's doing what I'm doing. Nobody's doing really the semaglutide. Nobody's doing TRT. There's like one urologist name that pops up when you search for TRT in the area. So I figured that's something I could offer the area.
Oh, absolutely. Deliver the need. Right. Exactly.
Yeah, but in order for me to do that, I've got to have another NP on board to kind of take some of the load off and seeing some of my telemedicine follow ups for weight loss.
Okay. So I want you to ask yourself this question first before you hire a nurse practitioner. Okay. How much are you going to pay this individual? And how much do you make doing the Medicare home risk assessments? So basically, where's the break even here? Like you're hiring out someone else to see patients for you
Mhm,
so you can maintain your part time job. When
mhm.
does it not make sense anymore? Does that make sense?
Right. So with this part-time job, it's a 1099 position. I get paid $80 per assessment and a $45 per diem. So I see on average about 7 to 8 members a day with the potential for there to be a ninth. So that usually adds up to about anywhere between 750 close to $800 a day if I see everybody. Now, there's no guarantee that I'm going to see everybody because you have people that forget the appointment, or they're not home, or the address isn't real, or something along those lines. So if I have a slow day that's only 4 people, I'm not making a whole lot of money that day. So it's one of those situations where it's like it was a necessity when I took the job, and now I'm not so sure that it is.
Okay, so let's just say that you average $700 a day when you do it. Let's
Yeah.
just say average.
Mhm.
All right. And you're doing this 2 days a week.
Right now, but it's after my kids start back school, because I homeschool them as well. I will only be able to do it one day a week.
Okay. So you're looking at, you know, 2,800 bucks a month when you go back, when you go down to 1 day a week,
Yeah.
less than $3,000 basically.
Yeah.
And so this nurse practitioner that you hire to do consults for you, if you're paying them $3,000 a month, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I agree. And
Right.
that's kind of what I was sitting there thinking too. I was like, I don't know if this is something I can keep doing.
Right. I'm all for your business working for you, and you not working for it. I
Mhm.
mean, working for your business sucks. It's a job.
Yeah.
Your business ends up becoming just a job. There's a difference between being self-employed. Okay. When you're
Mhm.
self-employed, you will basically employed by your business, right? Because you're working in it. You're doing the
Right.
job. An entrepreneur, on the other hand, sees opportunities for the business to work for them. Okay. It's a big
Right.
difference. And so if you hire another nurse practitioner to see patients for you, now your business is working for you. That person is generating revenue for you.
Hmm.
Okay. So it depends on what your goal here is. Do you want partially passive income, or do you legitimately enjoy working, seeing patients, and those sorts of things, or maybe just a little bit of both?
I do enjoy seeing my patients, but I really have over the last probably month and a half reached a wall where this is not fun anymore. And
Yeah.
it really has become a job. I never thought it would happen with my own business, but I get that Sunday night dread where I don't want to get up. And I mean, once I'm there, I'm happy and I enjoy doing my job. But then it's like the same, like right now, I'm trying to revamp my website. I don't even have time to sit down and get all of my pricing structure down so that I can send my web team updates or try to get everything updated on the website. It's crazy. So that's kind of where I sit. Like I want to have the time to work on my business and not just in it. So having
Right.
somebody, even just if I pay her one day, or just if she pay her per telemedicine follow up that she does, then that alone, that one day makes a huge difference for me.
So if it's no longer fun and you're dreading actually operating your own business, then that tells me it's time to start delegating work to others. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No question about it. I was the exact same way. I was the
And I've
same
done it
way.
for as long as I possibly can by
Sure.
myself. And I just really, I mean, I keep a running patient roster of between 40 and 50 patients. I mean, of course, I've had patient nutrition and all of that, but I mean, generally I keep between 40 and 50 patients at any given time. And that's a lot to juggle by
Yeah.
myself.
It
I
is.
really can't grow anymore unless I do have somebody else on board.
Correct. You're 100% correct. Okay. So you took the right step. You got a virtual assistant receptionist helping you out now. Great. I think the next step is to maybe hire a provider so you can get back some more of your time. Because what will happen is once you start having more time, then you'll be able to rapidly grow your business.
That's the
Well,
goal.
Yeah. What happens is that when you hire someone to do more of just the busy work, just the work itself, seeing patients, when you get to that point, it gives you so much more time to start working on processes that increase your business's revenue and it helps it grow. Because remember, you're the chief operating officer. You know what I mean? You are the CEO, you are the president of your business. Your job is to grow it, right?
Correct.
To increase revenue and stuff. And it's really, really hard to do that when you're having to do just lots of day-to-day tasks, and even seeing patients. So I get that. I've been there. It sucks, but there's light at the end of the tunnel here. Okay. So there's light at the end of the tunnel here. There's gonna be some growing pains the next month or two. You're still gonna be pulling your hair out. Okay. But then
That's okay.
Yeah, it'll come together and it's great when it does. So I think that hire someone part-time to maybe just do the follow-ups for you. If they want to do the new patients, hell with it. Have them do the new patients too. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is that you're going to want to pay them production only. Okay. So this is minimal risk for you as the business owner.
Right.
Minimal. Ideally, you would like to hire a nurse practitioner who has their own professional malpractice insurance policy, and they can just bring that with them instead of you having to buy one for them. So if they already have their own personal professional policy, they should be able to just name your LLC as an endorsement on that policy and you're covered, you're good.
Okay.
Okay. So first step is that if they have their own policy, ensure that your LLC is named as an endorsement on it and make sure that they get a copy of the COI, the certificate of insurance, and show it to you. So step number one. If they don't have their own malpractice, then just buy them a little part-time malpractice policy through CM&F Group or something. Okay. It's like,
I mean, I've already got a policy through CM&F. And so I don't know how much it would cost to just add one more provider on that's just doing follow-up telemedicine.
What's strange is that anytime I get quotes for malpractice policies for a group, for like a practice where you're adding on multiple providers, it tends to increase the price a lot. So what I found is that it's cheaper just to buy the provider their own separate policy and just naming your LLC as an endorsement on it. That's what I found.
That's doable. I mean, my malpractice insurance is relatively inexpensive anyway. It's not like $150 a month or something like that.
Well, I think a part-time policy through CM&F Group, where they're seeing patients less than 10 hours a week, which they will be seeing patients less than 10 hours a week for it's like $600 or something. It's nothing.
Yeah. Oh, that's easy.
Yeah. It's super easy. Right.
I can pay for that outright. That's not a problem.
Exactly. You should just pay for it outright and be done with it.
Yeah.
Now, you create the account, you get in there and you do it yourself. Right.
Okay.
So anyways, though, so you pay them production. So it's minimal risk for you. Okay. Pay them a flat fee per initial consult and per follow-up. What number that is, you're going to have to figure out. What is worthwhile to you?
Right. And that's kind of where that pricing restructuring kind of comes into play, because right now the subscription-based service that I'm on for weight loss works well for me. But with inflation and the cost of everything going up, like that may not continue to work well for me. So right now I'm billing my weight loss patients for semaglutide $350 a month, and that includes their follow-ups. It's $125 for the initial consultation with labs and all of that. But like I said, the semaglutide's gone up. Like TaylorMade right now is like $225 for the 10 milligram vial. It's like $250, ridiculous amount for semaglutide through Southlake. So right now I'm just using TaylorMade because they're the least expensive at the moment. But that pricing structure won't be able to stay that way. I've also had a few people that, they'll pay their $350, they'll get their vial of medication, and then I never see them again. And so I end up losing what I would have made off of them over the next couple of months, because I do require a 3-month commitment. But with the EHR that I'm using, I can't force a payment on them. Does that make sense? Like I'm using Athena Health, so I can't really force any type of payment on them or subscription style payment. So I basically have to do everything myself through billing. So what I was hoping to do is I'm trialing on a new pricing model where they pay for the medication up front. They pay $450. That includes the medication. And then they'll pay $99 per follow-up and just see if that works. But I don't know if that pricing model will actually work or not.
Well, I mean, it should. Okay, first, your expenses here. Have you reached out to Hollandale for the semaglutide? It's much cheaper.
I have not.
Okay, well, go through them. That's automatically going to increase your profits.
Okay, good.
Okay, yeah. Reach out to another pharmacy then. I mean, you should find cheaper options, either Hollandale or Compounding Pharmacy of America. Both of them are pretty good and cheaper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So skip TaylorMade, skip Southlake. Okay. So walk me through this person. So they pay for a 3 month supply and then they just never showed back up.
So what happens, and this has only happened maybe 3, 4 times. People come in, they'll pay the initial consultation, they'll get their labs. I'll bring them back because again, right now I'm doing everything. I'm doing the lab draw and everything. They'll come in, they'll agree to a plan because we'll come up. Do you want oral medications, which is the cheaper plan, or do you want semaglutide, which that's the magic medicine right now? They'll agree to the semaglutide. They sign my clinic policy, which agrees that they will commit to 3 months. They'll pay their $350 for that month. The medication gets shipped to them, and then they will never follow up, or they'll email me back or call me back and say, you know what, we've decided we don't want to do the program. And I'm like, what? You just got 3 months worth of medication for $350. So
Well, yeah, your first mistake is you never ever give someone that kind of amount without them paying up front for the full 3 months.
right.
That's mistake number one. You're being too nice. Okay.
Yeah, I've learned that lesson.
Correct. Yeah. Lesson learned, whatever. I made the exact same
Yeah.
mistakes in my men's health clinic. So what? Okay. So just move forward.
Right.
So yeah. So if they're going to get a 3 month supply, they pay up front for all 3 months. Okay.
Okay.
So, I mean, the structure you have now should continue to still work. I don't think you need to complicate this. I think you just need to be a little more strict with it. If they're going to pay month to month, they only get 1 month supply. Simple as that.
Okay. I can do that.
Now, you're going to increase your shipping costs and stuff with that,
Right.
but just pass it to the patient. Just pass it along with them. Like, that's why you give them discounts for paying 3 months in advance, 6 months in advance. That's why you give a discount, right?
Okay.
But if they're paying month to month, the price should be a little bit higher to cover for shipping costs.
Okay. I can do that.
Okay. So lesson learned. So, I mean, I don't think you really need to change a whole lot here. I don't think you need to make it complicated. I mean, you can charge for the medication, then charge for the consults if you want. That model works fine too. I just find that patients get more value out of the subscription model.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I have more people that really, they like that model a lot more.
Right.
And really, even if we separated everything out and did you pay for the medication and you pay for consultation, or not for follow up, there really is only lifetime savings over the course of the 3 months. They would really only be saving about $100
Right.
after all is said and done. And that's assuming most people end up going through a vial of medication about every 2 to 3 months, just depending on what their dosage is.
Right. So whatever that is, you make sure you charge them for that 2 or 3 months. Because I know, like you said, the vial is going to change based off the dose,
Right.
but charge the same amount across the board.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's where I landed at that 350 because I thought, that seems fair. But when TaylorMade and everybody just jacked their prices way up, I was like, oh crap.
Right. Yeah. Cut your
That really
profit.
cut my throat. I was like, ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, go through another pharmacy. And those numbers should continue to still work for you if you get something cheaper.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't really think you need to do a whole lot here in terms of your pricing. If you want to increase it, by 10, 15, $20 or whatever, so be it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, inflation is 8, 9%. So increase your
Yep.
prices by 8, 9%.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I can do that.
And just keep it the same way. All right. I hope everyone's enjoying the episode so far. I just wanted to take a quick break to thank everyone listening and also give a big thank you to all of my social media followers and email subscribers. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to our email list at www.elitenp.com and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Email subscribers will receive updates on new weekly podcast episodes, multiple weekly articles we publish, new courses, and everything else related to helping you succeed. Remember, all elite nurse practitioner courses are designed to help you build a niche practice, increase your financial strength, and to break free from the rat race. If I can break free and the other countless nurse practitioners can break free, then so can you. Additionally, please share this podcast with your other nurse practitioner sisters and brothers out there. The more NPs that venture out on their own, the stronger our profession will become. Now, let's get back to the episode. Now, tell me about this whole Athena payment thing, because as you grow and scale your business, you need to try to automate as much as you can.
Right.
Okay. So what is this you're having to physically send an invoice every month? Like, how's the Athena payment processor work? I'm not sure.
So Athena, I've used them before with other practices that I've been at, and even as a student. I liked the flow of Athena and how they structure their templates. Like it makes more sense in my brain. And plus having used it before, like I'm already used to it. But the way that they do their billing is you basically have to put a code in. So I've created a fee schedule that has all my different codes with fee schedules and all that kind of stuff. So you can set up like prepayment plans, but man, is it a pain in the butt to do. So basically what happens is there's like a little sticky note feature on each patient's chart where I can write a note out that only I can see. And so basically right now I'm having to do a little sticky note that says payment due on 7/26, payment due on 7/15 or something along those lines. So that way I know at that visit I bill them, and they have a card on file. So I just bill the card on file, but I'm having
Okay.
to do that physically.
Yeah, no. That ain't gonna work. You need
That's part of
to.
that whole like, oh my God, there's so much. So one visit, what should only take me 15 minutes for telemedicine follow-up in reality may actually take me 20 or 25 because of all the front end and back end work that I'm having to do.
Right. No, this should get to the point where you see the patient, you sign off on the note, and you're done. You have other
Right.
people
I'm
do all
looking
the other.
forward to those days.
Okay,
And
first
that's a
thing.
really, really like skeezy asking, like not asking, but saying like, oh, it's going to be 350 today. It just I don't know. It makes me feel some kind of way. Like I need to make money, but I don't like telling people to pay me. It's weird. I mean, I
No,
will tell them to pay.
yeah,
Oh,
the provider. Yeah, and I kind of agree. The provider asking for the payment kind of seems a little weird. So I think that you need to get a payment, just get an outside payment processor. I personally am not a fan of having the payment processor in the EMR as well. I don't know. I think just a separate one is better, in my opinion. I know like a lot of people want everything in one place, but having a separate payment processor gives you so many more options on what you can do. There's usually so many more features with it. You can either use our preferred vendor for payment processing. They're really, really good. So if you go to the Elite MP website and click on the GPO at the top, just go down and go to the preferred vendor for payment processing.
okay.
They're a really, really good company. It's only like 2.5% transaction fee average, or you can just have them actually charge the patient, the customer, the transaction fee as well. So you can just
Oh,
add
yeah,
that to your
definitely.
cost. But they have an automatic payment feature.
Yeah. I'll need to look into my Athena contract. I mean, I'm not like locked in with them. It's basically a month to month. It doesn't
Well,
matter
use
what,
them.
but I think if I'm remembering correctly, they had a stipulation that they were to be the only payment processor that I use if I'm using them for my EHR. So I need to go back through that and make sure that that's something that I can do. But also they wouldn't know one way or
How
the
the
other.
hell are they going to know
They're
anyways?
never going to know. It doesn't matter.
How are they even going to know anyways? Like,
They're
come
not going to know. They're just going to see that there's no money coming through and they're gonna be like, what the crap?
on. Don't worry about that. I'm pro bono now.
Exactly.
Right. So yeah, use them as an EMR or just find another EMR and be done with it. I
I
know.
was considering finding another EMR anyway, even though I
Yeah.
like the flow. It's not been transitioning from one office to another, from one location to another, showed that it was a pain in the butt. They had a
So,
hard time getting my address, and I mean, it was a pain.
okay, listen, you need to switch EMRs now because I'll tell you what, as you grow and get bigger, it's going to be a bigger pain in the ass to switch your EMR. So you need to switch it now
Okay.
before you start getting busy.
Do you have any suggestions?
I mean, do you do an EE prescribing through it?
Yep.
Okay, so if you're doing e-prescribing, I would suggest an EMR that has an e-prescribe feature. So, I like Simple Practice, but it doesn't have a e-prescribe feature in it. So OptiMantra is designed for these kind of like niche practices. Okay. There's a little bit of a learning curve with it, but once you get it down, it's a pretty cool EMR. It's pretty simple.
Do they design your templates for you, or is that
Yes.
something I have to go? Oh, thank God. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I am not tech savvy when it comes to
Yeah, they will. They will.
Okay.
Yeah, you can use OptiMantra. Charm EHR is pretty good as well.
I
But
started with Charm, but I couldn't, again, with me being technologically impaired, I had a hard time like setting up templates and that kind of
okay,
stuff.
fair enough. Okay, so just go with OptiMantra. They'll build the templates out for you.
Sweet. That's what I need.
Okay.
I need
Yeah.
I love plug and play stuff. I'm happy to pay for it if it's plug and play.
Yeah.
Like, that's one area that I don't like. That's fine. I'm okay with
Okay.
paying for that.
There you go. Well, go to the preferred vendor list, the GPO. Okay. There's a
Okay.
discount for OptiMantra as well. They're a preferred vendor for a reason. I
Yeah.
like it's a decent EMR.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
I've heard Cario's pretty good as well. I don't have experience with it though.
Okay.
So anyways, just pick one and go. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. As long as you can chart patients, chart notes, and
Exactly.
e-prescribe and schedule, that's pretty much all you need, right?
Yep. That's
And
it.
yeah, and then have a third-party payment processor, okay? That way, if you ever switch EMRs or anything like that, you always have the same payment processor.
Perfect.
So go ahead and knock that out. But yeah, I think if you automate the payments for the monthly subscription, I think it'll make your life a hell of a lot easier.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because that is one of the primary reasons why I get that Sunday night dread is just the all the extra bull crap that I'm
Huh,
having
the-
to do.
yeah,
Just working three jobs as one is, in the beginning when you're not that busy, you've only got three or four or five, maybe five people you're seeing a day. That's fine. But when you're getting to 18 or 20 people that you're seeing in a day, gosh, it becomes quite a headache.
right. It's busy
It's
crap
busy
work.
work.
It's
Yeah,
junk
it's
work.
busy
It's
work
busy.
that's not actually doing anything for me.
It's doing nothing for you. Correct.
Right.
Yeah. Busy work versus income generating work. You need to focus
Right.
on income generating work now.
Yes, completely agree.
So I think that doing the automatic payments, I think that getting a nurse practitioner on board, pay them a straight fee. All right. Your profit margin for monthly semaglutide, I would say the majority of what you're doing is the semaglutide.
Yeah, majority.
The majority of it. Okay.
Yeah, like for Phendramine, they pay me $99 a month and I send it to the pharmacy. Like I don't even have any cost for that. And they're happy to
Okay.
pay it. They pay me
Well,
the $99 for me to prescribe it. And there's no overhead for me on any of that.
and you only give them a 30-day supply.
Give them a 30-day supply and they
Okay.
come back
Perfect.
$99 the next month.
Okay. Remember, your goal here is $100 a month profit. Okay. On
Right.
anything that you do, minimum.
Right.
As long as you're hitting that $100 a month profit mark, minimum, this
Right.
should be a pretty profitable practice. And you shouldn't have any issue paying this nurse practitioner $100 for the initial consult. Because think about it, $100 for the initial consult, but the patient pays for 3 months of semaglutide right up front. How much profit is that for you? 150, 300, 450 bucks, probably,
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
right?
If
And
they'll
so,
pay up front. So that may be something that I need to really push with my
sure,
patients is an
yeah.
upfront payment.
Well, if they do the monthly though, you should be able to generate more profit though.
Right.
Right.
So if they're paying 350 per month, that's, a little over $1,000. And the semaglutide, for 3 months or whatever would only cost me, if I went through TaylorMade 225,
For the 3 month supply,
basically. Yeah.
give or take. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Give or take. I mean, if they're on lower doses, then that one vial should absolutely last them 3 months. I have only about a handful of people right now that are on over a milligram a week. Those are the ones that are like, "Ugh." Like I need to put you on a different pricing structure or something because holy crap, I'm getting tired of ordering a vial every 6 weeks.
Yeah, that really eats into the profit, doesn't it?
It does, but overall, most of my patients are under a half milligram. So it ends up more than balancing. It's just a pain in the butt.
And you don't have to titrate them up to get the effect.
Not really. I mean, a lot of the people that come to me, I mean, especially with it being wedding season, like they have 20, maybe 30 pounds they're looking to lose. A half milligram, by the time we titrate them up to that, they're stable on it. They're continuing to lose weight and continuing to have appetite suppression. So I'll leave them there.
Fair enough. Okay. So then, if you're going to pay the nurse practitioner $100 for an initial visit, how often are you following up with the patient?
Initially, and this is where I think I differ from a lot of practices. Initially, I follow up with them once a week, and it's just a quick 15-minute telemedicine just to titrate their dose. But I'm considering once a month instead to lighten my load a little bit. And most of the time, we're not even titrating the dose up until around the month mark anyway.
So then make it a month.
Yeah.
When I start seeing glutide with people, I don't follow up with them for a month. And then after that, it's like every 2 to 3 months.
Okay. I need to do
Yeah.
that then. That'll probably lighten my load too.
Oh, that'll lighten your load significantly.
Right.
Okay.
Well, because most of the time, I mean, by the time we get to 2 months in, if they're still doing weekly visits, like it's the same. We say the same crap every single week.
It's the same thing, right?
Yeah, we'll stay there. But I have lots of success with my patients losing weight because they do get that accountability. So, I mean, I'm happy that's something I could continue to do once a week, but maybe for an extra charge.
Why don't you have your medical assistant do that?
I don't have a medical assistant yet.
Well,
It's just a virtual receptionist.
right. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You need a virtual medical assistant who can be a receptionist as well as do some
Right.
clinical.
Yeah, she's not in the clinical side of things. She's more administrative. That's her primary experience is administrative. So that's kind of why I hired her was just to really truthfully answer the phones. But I mean, that's something I can look into for sure is
Yeah.
maybe training her on being able to answer some medical questions or,
Well,
yeah,
it's the accountability thing. Anyone can hold someone accountable.
absolutely.
Hey, we're calling to check in on you. How are you doing? You're still taking your medication as prescribed. Okay. How's the diet? Fantastic. And she can just take some notes if there's any concerns or whatever. Just so what if I was you, I'd create just a little basic template.
Okay.
Okay. A little basic follow-up template and just have her ask these questions.
Okay.
If there's anything concerning, she can pass it along with you. But I would say probably for the most part, there'll be nothing concerning.
No,
Okay.
not generally.
So yeah, don't pay a nurse practitioner to do that for you. It's going to just destroy your profits.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, have her do that. Have the receptionist do that or a little part-time medical assistant or something. Okay. I like medical assistants personally because they're medically trained, but they can also do the office receptionist stuff too.
Right.
So it's an all-in-one kind of thing. That's why I like MAs. That's why I use MAs. So just consider that, for the future.
There's a potential in this office building because he still has, I mean, it's a like an executive suite style building where they've got larger suites and, 100 square foot suites that are tiny. Mine's close to 200 square foot. I mean, it's a decent size. I couldn't fit another person in there, but I mean, I could maybe look into renting one of the smaller office spaces that's like downstairs from me and potentially put somebody there as a medical assistant slash receptionist that could do the intake and the checkout. I think that's something I might could do. I could swing that.
You're going to have to do that at some point.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm locked in. So this is this was part of that whole like I got evicted. It wasn't me. I didn't do anything to get evicted. The person I was subleasing from got evicted because the building came under new ownership and the new owner didn't want him to sublease and he decided he was going to stick his feet in the ground and say, no, we're not doing that. I'm not kicking these people out. So the new owner was like, well, then you're all going. So we all ended up getting evicted. I appreciated him taking a stand, but good God. So I was in a real time crunch and didn't have the luxury of really shopping around. I had less than a month to try to find a space and get everything moved. So I ended up having to sign a 2-year lease, and I'm now 6 months into that 2-year lease. So I
Okay.
cannot get out of that lease for another year and a half.
Well, have them move you to a bigger office then, if they will, if there's one available.
Right. Well, my office is fine, but if I could get like one of the small offices, if he could give me some sort of discount for having two offices, like that's not a big deal. I can swing that and put somebody down there. I'm fine with not having somebody physically in the same office as mine, but my goal is to in about a year and 3 months ish really start looking for a space that I can grow into.
Yes.
Uh, and that's my ultimate goal is trying to find that spot. So I think by
Yeah.
then I'll definitely have the ability to do that.
Yeah. You're going to have to. You're just,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, there's no
We're there
question.
now. Like I could totally if I had my own space that I could absolutely grow into it, but stuck in the lease, there's really only so much I can do.
Well, you have two options. You can ask the landlord, hey, what would it cost for me to get out of this? I am busy. I have to have a bigger space. Ask him.
Mhm.
Or just get the other office, throw an MA in there, and just create a process where the patients check in down there, get their blood work done, all that kind of stuff, and you just see
Okay.
patients in the other office.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
you're
can
going
do
to
that.
have to do that at some point. Just go ahead and get it done. All right.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, have the VA do the follow ups, the weekly accountability follow ups. Okay. The nurse practitioner you hire, I think $100 for an initial visit and then $50 for an actual medication management follow up, a real follow up.
Okay.
Okay. Should help you still maintain a pretty solid profit margin and it'll free up a hell of a lot of your time.
That
Okay.
sounds like a plan to me.
And
And I
plus
really
you
only work, like I said, 1 day a week, so that won't destroy my profit margin.
and plus you're paying the nurse practitioner reasonable money.
Oh yeah, for sure. And honestly, like the nurse practitioner, I've actually got one. I know this person. We used to work together years and years and years ago as nurses. She's an NP. She's really just looking for something extremely part time just to keep her hours up so that she can recertify with the AANP.
Perfect. Well, there
Um,
you go.
and then it'll be perfect. So she's not
Perfect.
this is not an income. She's not looking to make a bunch of money. She's looking to get hours, which I can give her.
Okay. Well
And she
then
also does real estate on the side. So
okay, gotcha. All right. Well, $100 for initial, $50 for follow up. That's a suggestion. If you can pay a little less, pay a little less. I mean,
okay.
yeah, just ask her what's reasonable for her.
Okay.
She doesn't really need the money, then cool. You do
Yeah.
though.
Yeah,
So
I do.
right.
Yes, I do.
So, anyways, I mean, I think this is a pretty good start for scaling. I think
Yeah,
that it's
absolutely.
a few little tweaks here is all you need to do. And I think that this business will really start working for you a hell of a lot more. I think it's just going to be just a month or two of some headaches and, a little bit of some sacrifice and some sleepless nights and you're not really making a whole lot of money here because you're investing it back into your business, but it'll pay off.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You're not going to find a better return on investment than reinvesting money into your business. You're just not.
Absolutely. No, that's what I did up until, I'm gonna be honest with you, like I didn't start actually paying myself until May-ish, somewhere in that range. So I mean, it's really only been 2 months that I've been paying myself, but it was worth the wait. It was absolutely worth the wait. That's why I took that other secondary job. But like I said, we're on the verge of me needing to get rid of that.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, do you have any other questions or anything?
No, I think that's everything. I think you've answered all my questions and really helped me kind of figure out a plan forward.
Cool. Well, listen, this was the first follow-up podcast that we've done. So I really appreciate you hopping on here. And, I would love to continue this. Let's talk again another 6 months or something.
Heck yeah. Maybe then like I'll be a national chain. Who knows?
All right. Absolutely. You never know. So cool.
Never know.
All right. Well, keep me up to date. And then, like I said, let's do another podcast. And congratulations on your success. I'm real proud of you. It's an achievement to, start from nothing and generate 10, 15,000 a month in revenue. It's a fairly easy thing to do if you do everything right, but it's impressive. It is.
Well, I'm not going to lie. It didn't come easily. Definitely a lot of, like you said, sleepless nights, a lot of tears, a lot of fear, emotional roller coaster. But, if there's anything I could tell anybody that's listening is push past that. It does get better.
Yes.
All the steps, do what Justin says, and you will be successful. Like for real. It's been amazing. I'm really very, very grateful for you taking the time, like answering my emails and just taking the time to speak with me and really try to get this thing rolling and successful.
No, it's a pleasure to help. I really hope this blows up for you even more, So I wish you the best of luck and please keep me updated.
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, good luck and I'll talk to you later.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Thanks. Bye. I hope everyone enjoyed the second podcast with Crystal. Pretty good episode. I'm really, really happy to hear of her success. So I think the big thing here is that you really need to keep in mind growing and scaling your business at all times, okay? I know a lot of you are just in the initial startup phase. Like you haven't even formed an LLC yet. There's other people listening who have a, full-blown practice. So you always need to be thinking to yourself, how am I going to grow this? How am I going to scale this? How am I going to be able to get to the point where my business is working for me and how I'm going to be working on my business, not in my business. Okay. There's big differences here, folks. And for you to truly be an entrepreneur, your business has to work for you. Okay. If you just have a practice, right, and you're going there Monday through Friday or 3 or 4 days a week and you're seeing patients, you're there for 8 to 10 hours, I wouldn't really consider you necessarily an entrepreneur. You're self-employed. Okay, there's a big difference. That's being self-employed. You're basically employed by your business, right? You have to sit there and run it. So there's a big difference. If you want to be an entrepreneur, if you truly want a business that works for you, always have growth and scalability in your mind. How can I delegate work to others? How can I create systems? Okay, how can I automate processes? If you can nail that stuff down, you will have a business that works for you, and then you have time and then you have money to expand and grow further. That is how a millionaire nurse practitioner is made. And I think Crystal is on the way there. She's still in the infancy stages of it, but I think she will get there. I really, really do. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed this episode. Hopefully we'll talk to Crystal again in the next 6 months. All right, you guys take care. Bye. Thank you for listening to the show. Quick legal disclaimer. The content of this podcast is meant for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be used as legal, financial, medical, regulatory, or practice-specific advice. For information pertaining to your specific legal, financial, medical, or practice-specific needs, please be sure to consult with your lawyer, CPA, medical director, and/or your state's practice laws and the most up-to-date clinical guidelines. As always, do your due diligence when it comes to any information found online and in podcasts. The content in this podcast is copyrighted by Galaxy Medical Southwest 2022 and cannot be duplicated, rebroadcasted, or reproduced without our written permission.